Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Hi, Raymond. How are you? Good evening. Hi, Advocate for Love. You're good. I'm happy to hear you're good. Hi. Hope you're well, Advocate for Love. Lovely, lovely. I need to get my. Yes. Thank you. Sometimes you just need to take a break sometimes. It's good to be back as well. Sometimes the breaks are needed. I am fine otherwise. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just let me get my phone charger before. Thank you for the rose, Advocate. Thank you. Let me just get my phone charger before what's this? Oh, I'm gonna try this microphone tonight. Let me see how it works. Oh, but I need the charger in, so that's okay. One sec, okay? I'll be back. Okay, one sec. Let me just grab my phone charger. Hi everybody. I'm back. Oh God. Thank you for the roses, Queen. Hi Money. Thank you for the roses, Advocate. Hi Money, how are you? Okay, so you would be back, no problem. Hi everybody, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this world. Welcome back to All Things Legal. I know I have been missing, but I'm back now. I just needed to get my charger. All right, so that's all set there now. Good night. Hi Yuri, good night. Hi everybody, good night, good night. Welcome back to All Things Legal. I had to make the extra special time today to make sure that I come live. It's been a while, about a week. I think it's about a week. I have not posted on TikTok or come live. So I am back. Don't you worry. I am here. I'm back now. I took a small break. Sometimes breaks are really, really good for you to, have a mental break, recuperate yourself, and just relax. So sometimes the break is really, really good because social media can be very draining. Yeah, it can take up so much of your time as well, and you need to tap out and tap in. So I am back now. Hi, Appledon. Hi, Ismail. Welcome. So I am back now, ready to go, ready to pour into you, ready to bring awareness, ready to bring updates on all immigration matters, legal matters in the UK, in the Caribbean, and anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. As long as there are immigration news, I will be bringing that to you. And also, I am still easy to be contacted via inbox. Make sure you're following my page before you inbox me. But if you have any question, you follow my page, inbox me, and I will respond to you. I'll provide you my details if you wish to have them. And you can always feel free to have a consultation with me if you want to discuss your immigration matter. Now, as you join the live, you like the live, you share the live. Before we start our conversation tonight, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about something. So as you join the live, you like the live, you share the live, so it builds the algorithm. Yeah. Let me just do some shout out. So let me see who I have here tonight. Yes, Apadon. Hey Raymond. Do you do US visa applications? No, I don't. Only UK. And if there's anything that needs to be done in the Caribbean, I can also facilitate that. Okay, Advocate for Love. Listening in the back. Hi, Vicky H. Thank you for liking the live. We'll get there eventually. Lots to discuss, Shesh. Yes, there's lots have been happening. And of course, the first thing I want to talk about, or the first thing I want to mention, is that of course it was expected. It's nothing new. I am not surprised. I'm not shocked. I expected it that the fees that were proposed in January to be increased, the immigration fees, so the electronic travel authorization, the citizenship application fees, the right of abode fees, those fees that I talked about earlier in January that were proposed to be increasing, they are going to be increased in April, which is the new tax year. So it was expected. Nothing surprised me with the Home Office and when it comes to fee increase. But the problem is now, I think it was some time ago, I was actually thinking about this that the Home Office and the immigration system, they're actually losing a lot of money. And you may ask me, well, how do they lose money? Obviously, for example, when you do a fee waiver application where you're asking the Home Office to waiver their fees, they are losing money if your fee waiver is granted. So it means that if you had to pay the Home Office £5,000, £6,000, but those fees were waived, then the Home Office doesn't get that money. So they are losing money. And therefore, that can be one of the reasons why they are increasing the fees. But even though they're losing money in that aspect, they are making lots of money still. They are making lots of money still. Because just imagine that they probably have a percentage or a quarter of how many fee waivers should be granted in a year or every 6 months. So they are still making money, but they are also losing money. And so the fee increase was expected, especially when there's a new government in power. They are going to want to increase the fees in order to make money. And many people say that with this Labour government, which I think some of us were all happy for, I don't know if I'm happy anymore because they're not really doing anything in my favor, to be honest. Everything is increasing except one thing. And you know what, I don't even want to say it tonight because whenever I say it at work, I get a silence. Silence. Everything is increasing except one thing, and that's salary. And it's a fact. It's a fact. Based on where you're working, your salary never increased, but food increases, tax increases, yes, Raymond, pay. You said it. It never increased, but everything else are increasing. And I'm not sure if the current government is doing anything good for me or for others, but say what? Immigration fees are going to increase next month, which is April. Um, so if you're looking to make your naturalization application, do it now when it is still 1,500 some. Come next month, you'll have to pay about £1,630 or more. Okay? So Raymond said pay. Yes, advocate, you did say it as well. So yeah, everything is increasing. That's the first thing on my list tonight. We're gonna go down the list. I do have a lot to say, but obviously, you know, when I come live, I only come for like an hour. So what I don't get covered tonight, of course, I'll cover it in another session. But if you're new to my live, welcome to All Things Legal. My name is Sharisa, and of course, if you're wondering where my accent is from, I'm from the Caribbean, the beautiful Caribbean island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I'm an immigration lawyer in the United Kingdom. I also deal with immigration matters or any legal matter in the Caribbean. So if you'd like to book a consultation with me, feel free. You inbox me and I would give you my details. I'm a bit skeptical to put them on the live because TikTok can be a bit restrictive with certain information. So if you want to book a consultation with me, the cost at the moment is £60 and it's a limited cost. It's unlimited time. Have all your questions ready. Be prepared for your legal advice. Be prepared to have a discussion. Okay? No question is a stupid question. All right? There's always an answer or a reasoning for a question that you have. And that's why you book consultations, is to have all your legal issues answered so that you can have a clear path and a clear direction into what, into your legal issue. All right? That's the main reason of booking a consultation. You don't want to book a consultation for what? for anything else but to have a clear direction and answers to your legal question. So if you want the answers, if you want results, if you want solutions, book a consultation with me. You would not regret it. I do try my best to be people person and to have that relatable conversation with you and to direct you and to simplify the legality of your issue in the simplest way I can so you can understand. If it takes me an hour, that's what I'll do. If it takes me 45 minutes, that's what I'll do. Okay. So go ahead, you can inbox me. I'll give you my contact details. You can book your consultation with me. Okay. And if you're new to my live, you're new to my TikTok page, feel free to follow my page. I'm also on YouTube on All Things Legal with Sherry. That's my play name, Sherry for short, Sharisa. So feel free to follow my YouTube page as well, All Things Legal. You can also follow me on Facebook, All Things Legal as well with Sherry. Okay. I am based, hi Sherry Samuel. I am based in Manchester. So that's the beautiful Manchester, even though sometimes it's always wet. Thank you for joining my team. Although Manchester is always wet and raining, it's still beautiful in my eyes. Because it's the first city that I have lived in since I'm in the United Kingdom. So when I came to the UK, I came to Manchester and I never left Manchester. And I don't think I can live in any other city. Thank you for joining my team, Vans. I don't think I can live in any other city but Manchester. So sorry for those who live in London and other places. It's okay. We all have our preferences. But yeah, the office is based in Manchester. It's Malik Legal Solicitors. Okay, Malik Legal Solicitors, and we're based in Manchester. But I do online consultations as well, so that can be via WhatsApp video call, Google Meet, Zoom, whatever your preference. Okay. Thank you for the rose, Sherry. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. So yeah, I do online consultation as well. So it's fine wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are in the UK. You can reach me. I can reach you. Okay. So that's enough introduction. So now what I'm gonna do. Thank you for that, Queen Advocate. Hi, darling. So I'm going to answer some questions in the chat before I move on to my next topic. So let me see if you have any immigration question, put it in the chat and I'll try my best to respond to it. Now, if I think your question needs consultation, I am going to tell you that, because even though I am giving free advice, I do not believe that any solicitor, any lawyer on TikTok or any platform can give an in-depth advice while on a live. There's so many things that we have to take into consideration, so many ifs, so many buts, so many so many things you have to take into consideration to give a holistic legal advice. Okay, so what I would answer here would just be on the surface. But if you do need an in-depth legal advice, I would say that to you. Okay. So I'm going to go through. And also one more thing. If you put a question in the chat and I, for whatever reason, don't answer it, or I did not see your question, don't be disappointed. Okay. Inbox me, send me that question and I would answer it. All right. Thank you for liking the live, guys. Wow, 4.6k likes. Is that a welcome back likes? Are those welcome back, Sherry? Welcome back to TikTok live. Maybe, I think it is. Thank you, guys. Thank you, my beautiful followers. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for all the support, okay? So let's get into the live now. Queen is laughing. All right, so let's see a few of the questions here. Can I send you an email? You can send me an email, that's okay. Thank you for the roses, darling. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, Queen, it's just information, and each one help one. That's how we do it on my live. Thank you for the roses. So Vance is asking, hi, do you think I can apply for citizenship as I came in at the age of 13, but illegal entry? So to answer your question, Vance, now realistically, I would say to you, yes, anyone can apply for citizenship. Anyone can apply for naturalization. It doesn't matter. As long as you satisfy the requirements of being here for 5 years or more, whatever route you're on. So if you are on a 10-year route, or if you're on a 5-year route, or if you're a refugee and you've done your 5 years, as long as you qualify, yes, you can. Okay? But there are changes to the good character guidance rules. There were recent changes. What are the recent changes? Basically, if you enter the UK illegally, whether as a child or as an adult, and then you made an application for citizenship, it can be refused on the basis that you failed the good character guidance. However, there are exceptions to this rule. And this is what is important for you, Vance, because there are exceptions to the general rule. And take into consideration that this good character guidance has been forever long a rule, but it never directly targeted illegal migrants or illegal entrants, as some people would say. But there are discretion in everything in immigration. There are discretions. There are ways to get under and there are ways to get over. There's always a solution for your immigration matter. So you came into the country illegally, whether it's by lorry, whether it's by a small boat. You came in illegally at the age of 13. You were a minor, you were a child. Okay? You are a minor, you are a child. So if there are mitigating exceptional circumstances that applies to your situation, then your citizenship application can be successful. Where you came into the country illegally as a child and you can prove or you can show that it was beyond your control, that's an exception as well. So it's for the immigration officer, the caseworker, to be satisfied that that an exception applies to your application. Okay? So yes, you can apply, and then it's up to the immigration officer to decide whether there is an exception for your application. And if they're satisfied, then you would be given the discretion. Okay? But yes, everybody can make an application for citizenship, whether you came in illegal or not. Nothing is wrong in making the application. It's whether it will be granted or not. And based on your circumstances, you have to assess what's the likelihood of success. All right? So I hope I've answered your question for you, Vance. Yes, you can. Just inbox me, okay? Follow my page and inbox me. I think if you look on the live, there should be Queen Advocate, can you tell me, on the live, there's normally, if you do the plus sign, which is you click on the red cross to follow, and then you should see an inbox sign. You should be able to send me a message. Yeah. If you send me a message, then yes, I can give you my details, and we can book a consultation. Okay. Thank you for following me, Bunmi. It's Malik Legal Solicitors. Okay. All right. Let me see the next question. Hi, Digilo. How are you? Let's get to 10K likes, guys. All right. So let's answer the next question that I can see. So, uh, Jonad is asking, without meeting the 29,000 requirements, which is the minimum income threshold, can I still apply for a spouse visa when married to a British? Now, if you're married to a British, they must, first, if you're in the UK and your partner is in the UK as well, both of your salaries can be combined. So if you're making 18,000 and the person is making another 20, 30,000, you can combine your salaries to make 29,000. If one partner is overseas and the other one is here, the one in the UK is the one who is responsible for showing that they earn 29K. Now, if you're not earning 29K, there are ways in which you can also prove your income. So it's either you have savings of over, I think is about £89,000, yeah, savings, or you may have two jobs, or you may have overtime work. Okay, these are ways in which you can bill and you can show that you're making 29K per month. You need to be making 29K for at least 6 months or at least 12 months. Okay, so you must be making 29K unless you are on some sort of benefits. Okay, if you're on benefits, then you're exempted. If you're not on benefits, you need to show that you're making 29,000 unless you're exempted for any other reason. Okay, so if you're working at Costa, if you're working in a grocery and you're not making 29K ordinary salary, but you have overtime work that you do, that can add. If you have a second job, that can add towards your income. Okay? I hope I answered your question, Janad. So Zara is asking, what do you do if I am detained and to be deported? Do you help with bail? Yes, we do bail applications, but of course we're a private firm, so you would pay for your application. Okay? But yes, we do bail applications, and obviously you'll have to have two sureties with monies in their account and other requirements that you have to satisfy. All right? But yes, we do bail applications. And going back to your question, thank you for the rose, my dear. Going back to this question that Zara is asking. Now, I do advocate for overstayers or illegal migrants in the UK in terms of try to get yourself regularized immigration wise. Try to regularize your immigration status in the UK. Because if the police or if immigration officers arrest you and detain you, it's going to be a harder battle for you to escape or for you to get released. So don't wait until you are detained and you're in immigration detention center and you're crying and you're frustrated and you don't want to go back, but you have no choice. Don't make it get to that stage. Do the right thing. If you're in the UK illegally, if you're in the UK as an overstayer, there's nothing wrong with making the first step. And the first step is to seek legal advice. Speak to an immigration solicitor, speak to an immigration lawyer. Get some advice. Understand how you can regularize your immigration status. You know, some people say, how can I get my papers? Yeah, but professionally, I would say, how can I regularize my immigration status in the UK? That's the first step, is to speak to a legal advisor. Once you obtain your advice, don't stick, don't wait. Start acting on it. The last thing you want to happen to you is to be in an immigration detention center and to be issued a deportation order. Especially when you know you cannot return to your home country. It's going to be costly for you and it's going to affect your mental health. Because you're going back to where? You have nowhere to go when you go back. You may not even have family there. So don't let it get to that stage. Do the right thing when you can to avoid being put in immigration detention center. And you just don't know when they're going to show up. Like, immigration can show up at your door, literally. They can find your address. You can be at the bus stop waiting for the bus and they question you. So be very careful and do what you need to do to regularize yourself in the United Kingdom. When you're here legally, you're free. Like I always say, have a peace of mind. Okay? So, I just wanted to add that on to Zara's question. All right, so let's continue with a few more questions. Hi, Ify, how are you? It's been a while indeed. Well, it's been a while that I am on live. Thank you for the roses, my darling. Thank you. I haven't been on for like a week or two. So I'm back today, energized and ready to speak to my followers. Okay, do you have an email address? Yes. It's allthingslegal27 at gmail.com. So allthingslegal27 at gmail.com. Let's get to 10K likes, guys. Like the live, double tap, power tap. Follow my page and share the live as well so it builds the algorithm. All right, so that's my email address, allthingslegal27 at gmail.com. Hi, Tariq. Hi. Hi, Madilo. How long does a parent family visa take for a decision to be made? It can be within 12 months, okay? There are instances where it takes longer than 12 months, but it can generally be within 12 months. Hi, King. So you say, I am an asylum seeker, basically, and I have a coming second interview. Should I tell Home Office that I'm already married in British? Okay. So if your circumstances have changed or you have new information, new evidence, let the Home Office know when you go for your second interview. So let's say, for example, when you went for your first interview, you were not in a relationship with someone who's British or someone who has settled status here, but then you form a relationship, because generally there can be time between your first interview and your second interview. Sometimes you finish your first interview a year and then it's a year after you get in your second interview. So there can be time and things can happen. All right. So if circumstances have changed and you have established a family and private life in the UK with someone who is British, okay, or has settled status, you let the Home Office know at your second interview. Is that understood? Yeah. So you inform the Home Office. They would ask you to send them evidence. What are evidence that you should send? Photographs of you and your partner together. You send them a statement if you have any statement. Okay. You send them bills if you have bills in your name or your partner's name or together at the same address. All right. So you send them these sort of evidence to show that you have a genuine and a subsisting relationship with someone who's British. That can add value to your asylum application. All right. So I'm going to say further briefly here, just once, just a bit of education or awareness when it comes to asylum claim, because that's my number one, yeah, is that many people have the misconception that asylum is just about someone being unalived. That's how we say it, right? Someone being unalived or someone threatening to kill you. But asylum is more than that, okay? It's more than that. If anyone has went through asylum claim and you get your decision, read your decision thoroughly. You would see that the Home Office gives you reasoning under more than one different headings. And that's because different aspects are taken into consideration on your asylum claim. So the first thing that Home Office would assess is your claim of the fear of persecution, whether it's for a convention or a non-conventional reason. So that fear can be someone want to kill you, someone want to harm you. Home Office will assess that. Then they would assess to see whether there are any humanitarian reason. Are there any reason to invoke Article 3 of the Human Rights? Then they would assess whether or not there are any family and private life established in the UK. This can be established before you claim asylum. It can be established after you claim asylum, during your asylum. There are no specific time. Even after your asylum decision, if you develop and establish family and private life, there are other immigration applications that you can make to let the Home Office be aware of this. So asylum claim is so much more. But the thing is, I don't think, every immigration officer or every immigration advisor takes the time to explain and break it down to clients. But asylum claim is more than just someone wants to unalive you. It's more than that. So yes, my dear, inform the Home Office on your second interview of your family life that has been disestablished. Okay? And that can impact your asylum decision tremendously. All right? I hope I answered your question, King. Kicks, I think I answered that question already, okay? Thank you for the roses. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for showering me roses tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the roses, Mama. Do anyone need to use IELTS for skilled worker visa renewal? So for skilled worker visa renewal, the same sort of documents you use when you did your initial skilled worker visa are the same things you can use for your renewal. Okay? The renewal is very simple. Okay. Hi, Range. Thank you for following my page. Thank you for following me. Is it Jones 291? Welcome. Welcome to All Things Legal, everybody. Hi, Miriam. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you. 11.3k likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all of my beautiful followers. Thank you for 11.3k likes. So they didn't give me any rights to appeal, but I never went to court, nor a hearing. What can I do? You know what you need to do? You need to book a consultation with me, my dear. If you don't have right to appeal, then it can be a bit complicated, okay? You're welcome, King. So I can't pronounce the name, but MABDI18. She said, came to the UK for family reunion and not stay 5 years. Can I apply ILR with my sponsor, which stayed 5 years? So I'm going to split this question up. All right, let's take it in parts. So you came for family reunion. Are you referring to where your partner's refugee got refugee status and then they applied for family reunion visa for you? Is that what you're referring to when you said came UK for family reunion? So I'm not going to move because if I scroll up, then I'm going to miss the rest of the question. Right. So let me address it on the basis that you came to the UK under a family reunion visa to join your spouse who would have been granted refugee or maybe humanitarian protection, either or. Okay. And you came on a family reunion visa. So normally you have to stay 5 years before you can then qualify to apply for indefinite leave to remain. And of course, along with other requirements, okay? But as you're asking about the 5 years, that's what we need to speak about. So you personally, as the dependent who came in on the visa, need to stay 5 years, okay? Before you can qualify for ILR. And the same goes for your other partner who was here on 5 years on the refugee. They need to accumulate 5 years before they can then apply for indefinite leave to remain. Then you said, can I apply ILR with my sponsor, which stayed 5 years? So you did not stay 5 years. Did you leave the UK or did you switch your visa? Either way, you must have accumulated 5 years and your partner must have accumulated 5 years. All right. So there are questions in between this. If you did not stay 5 years, then what did you do with, how did you remain legal in the country? Did you leave the UK after you came? Or did you stay in the UK? Did you switch your visa? Because the other flip side to this is if, for example, your partner who brought you here has attained the 5 years, then they need to move on to their ILR. But if you're just 1 year or 2 years, you're not 5 years as yet. So once you accumulate 5 years, then you move on to your ILR. Okay? So there's some bits in between that I need to find out, but those are the scenarios. Okay? Can I have a consultation? Yes, you can. Inbox me, my dear. You've been giving me roses, so thank you very much. I'll give you a free consultation. Okay? So if you inbox me, and we'll book a time and a date that is convenient for yourself and I. And I'll offer you're the lucky one tonight. I'll offer you a free consultation and we'll speak about your issue and see how it can be addressed, okay? I do offer free consultations. Sometimes not on the live. Sometimes I do it if somebody inbox me, and because the biggest problem for me is time. So that's why, if someone is booking a consultation, then I know you have my undivided attention for that period. If you don't book a consultation, then I have to respond to you when I find the time. And some people are a bit, don't like it. But then at the same time, if you need to have a solicitor's undivided attention, the best way is to have a consultation. You have my attention for that 1 hour or 30 minutes. All right. so yeah, you're the lucky one tonight that's gonna get the free consultation sometime this week. All right, so inbox me right there. Can you review witness statements on asylum? Legendary, yes, I can, but I would not do it. And the reason for that is because, thank you for the gifts, thank you. With asylum, you either have a solicitor or you don't. And if I have to charge you to review a witness statement, it might as well you take me on board as your solicitor. in other words, right? So I don't do it, but I can, yes. Inbox me legendary. We see what can be done, but I generally don't do it. All right, but you can inbox me. Thank you for the gifts, my dear. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. So Diana is asking, with the illegal entry situation, would it also include if married to a British? When you say would it also include, it doesn't matter if you're married to a British or not. It doesn't matter if you're married to somebody who has settled in the UK. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you enter the UK. All right? So if you enter the UK illegally, that is what matters. What you did after, they don't care. Yeah? They don't care. So unless there are mitigating factors, exceptional circumstances, and compelling reasons, insurmountable obstacles as to why you entered illegally and as to why the Home Office should give you a discretion and still grant you naturalization, the rule applies to everyone. And it doesn't matter if you came to the UK 20 years ago illegal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you came to the UK one day after or one day before. The rule is retrospective. Covers everyone. And it's based on the way you enter the UK. Okay, so if you enter the UK as an adult by virtue of modern slavery, human trafficking, that's an exception. If you enter the UK as a child and it was beyond your control, because take into consideration, there are some 16 years old, 17-year-old coming to the UK on their own. They were not brought here by an adult. So would you classify that their traveling to the UK was beyond their control as a minor? That's a really, really good question, a really good discussion. It's something to take into consideration. All right, so what matters is how you came into the UK. Welcome to all of my new followers. I got lots of new followers tonight. Is it because I'm back on TikTok now? But welcome to everybody. And if you're looking at my live and you've not tapped in, but you're looking at me still, tap into the live, join the conversation. Thank you, Queen Advocate, for the rose. Thank you, my darling. Someone is power tapping. Let me see who that person is. Thank you for power tapping the live. All right. So if you're watching my live and you're just watching, but you haven't tapped in, tap in, join in the conversation. Okay. So let's answer a few more questions. Tonight, I'm just going to answer questions. I'm just going to discuss. And as the time goes by, I would prepare my other topics to discuss. So it's okay. It's my first time back on live in 1 or 2 weeks. So that's okay. It's a share. King, me super tapping. Thank you, King. King is super tapping. Thank you. She loves when you tap, tap, tap. I do. Thank you, guys. Thank you, my beautiful followers. All right. So somebody's asking. I'm gonna skip the first word. Just the Africans. I think it's something cultural for them. Like they would say ma. I think the British we say ma'am. In the Caribbean we'll say miss or mister. But African they have a way I call the cultural thing of saying ma, and sometimes I don't know. I think it's because I'm from a Caribbean background. For us, we don't really like to hear ma. So sometimes I'm like, no, it's okay. Don't call me ma. It's okay. You can just say Sherry or Sharisa. And I've grown to understand that when someone say ma, it's not really a sign of disrespect, but a sign of respect to someone who, maybe is in authority or someone that they hold in high regards. But in the Caribbean, I don't know, each Caribbean island is different. But where I'm from, you don't call a young person ma. So sometimes I get a bit offended because I'm a 90s baby. So sometimes I get a bit offended, but then I realize, in the profession that you are, people would often have you in high regards and respect you. So they would refer to you as ma sometimes. I'm still getting used to it because every culture is different. And so we all have to get used to different things. But yeah, now I see the word there. I'm like, all right. So let me answer your question. It said, please tell me about further submission in medical grounds asylum seeker. Okay. So now I love to talk. So sorry, but I'm going to take you back a little bit. So, you come into the country and whatever visa you come in on, or let's say you came in illegally, but you claim asylum because for whatever reason you can't go back to your country and you need protection in the United Kingdom. So you claim asylum. That is fine. All right, because to each its own. Now you claim asylum, you went through your first interview, you went through your second interview, you may have had 3 or 4 more interviews after that. Then you got your decision, bam. Home Office is saying to you, I don't believe you. I don't believe your story. That's what they're saying. Subjective view. They don't believe you. They don't believe your story. And so they're refusing you. Or they may say, there are lots of inconsistencies and blah, 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 blah. And so your asylum claim is unsuccessful. All right. But circumstances change after. Okay? Your circumstances changed after your asylum claim decision. And so you have either fresh evidence or you have new information of what has happened to you. Things happen to you. And one of that can be on the medical grounds. Okay? So let's say, for example, knock wood somewhere. I love to use examples. So let's say, for example, you were diagnosed with cancer. God forbid that no one on my life or no one who will be listening to this after is in such a situation. And if you are, I say a special prayer for you tonight, okay? I do not wish that on my worst enemy if I have any enemies. But let's say, for example, you then were diagnosed with cancer. And you're from a country whereby there are no treatments, or the treatments, is not sufficient. is not adequate, and so you need to stay in the UK for medical reasons. Now, what it is called is human rights. Specifically, Article 3 of the Human Rights Articles. That is what you're invoking. All right? So when you talk about further submission in medical grounds, you have to prove to the Home Office that you have an illness that is diagnosed here in the UK, that you're undergoing treatments, or you may have underwent and you still have more treatments to do. You have to show the Home Office that there are no care and there's inadequate care, inadequate treatment in your home country. You have to prove to the Home Office how this medical issue is affecting you, be it mentally, be it physically. How would it affect you if you return to your home country with this medical issue? Now you're going to ask me, so how do I prove this to the Home Office? The obvious, you must have a medical report. Go online and look for reports, articles from your home country on this topic. Look for the one that conflicts to show, to contrast. Because the Home Office is going to say, yes, there's sufficient treatment for you there. They're going to bring country report. They're going to bring articles to prove that, you know what? You can go back home and you will be well treated with this condition. You do not need to be here. So you have to contrast that argument from the Home Office. Go and look for your articles. Read upon it. And this is what I say to clients sometimes. Sometimes you come to be prepared for your interview and you don't read up on certain things. You have to read up. You have to be aware. You have to do your research. So you read your articles, you submit your articles to contrast always be ahead of what you think the Home Office is going to say. Be ahead. And that's what we as lawyers have to do. We have to think like the Home Office and see how we can beat them at their own game in layman terms. So you read ahead, you research, you submit your articles, you submit your medical reports, you submit your medications. If you're doing therapy, you submit that. If you're doing psychological report, you submit that. You submit your GP record. You submit photographs. All this is what you have to do. Okay? And then to top it off, you have to do a really good submission. A really good write-up on the basis of Article 3, human rights, inhumane treatment, discrimination. All right? So this person, Avijit, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, I've given you lots of information for others who are listening on the live. I've given you loads of information there. But if you want more, feel free to book a consultation. We can reason and I can advise. But you need to have a really good submission done. Because on medical grounds, you don't just alone talk about the medical aspects. There are other aspects that you need to show the Home Office how this has impacted and how this has affected your life. And reasons why you can't go back, and reasons why you should be granted, whether it's humanitarian protection or asylum, refugee, or maybe outside the immigration rules. All right. Hope I've answered your question for you. Hey JAUK, I'm from Manchester. Hi Queen. Consultation is £60 at the moment, and that's a limited offer. All right. The actual cost for consultation at my firm is 150. So when you inbox me, when you inbox me, I would give you two numbers. Okay? One of the number is our landline, and the other one is a mobile WhatsApp number. Now, if you call the landline, because with all due respect, I expect people to do their due diligence because there's so many scammers and fraudsters on TikTok. But I'm not one of them. I don't have time for that. I hardly can find time to come live, much less to do that. But you have to do your due diligence. All right. So yes, you saw Sharice on TikTok. I'm on the other screen. You're on the other screen looking at me. How do you know who I am? Some people trust me. It's just their instinct. All right. But you, just like I would do with anybody else, do your due diligence. Go onto our website, Malik Legal Solicitors. Look for me. Look me up. Call the landline if you want. Ask to speak to Sharisa or just speak to the person who answers. But if you're calling to book a consultation, make sure you say that you're calling from my TikTok page, All Things Legal. All right. Otherwise, they would quote you £150, which is the actual consultation cost. But for my TikTok followers, social media followers, I'm doing it for £60 because I love all you. Yeah. I love all you, and I understand that things are hard financially, and so I try my best to see how I can meet others. So for now, I'm doing it for £60. So make sure that you say you're from my YouTube platform or TikTok platform, All Things Legal, and so they would quote you £60 as well. Otherwise, the receptionist will say to you 150. Okay. All right. Yes, it's online. I do consultation from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. It can be done online, which is WhatsApp video call, Google Meet, Zoom, anything online. Hi, Cynthia. I like your Caribbean accent. Thank you. Tap again, guys. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for tapping, guys. Thank you for tapping the live. Hi, Nini784. Thank you for following my page, darling. My Caribbean, my Vincy. Thanks for following. Ola, best man. Good evening. How are you, Ola? If this is my Ola, best man, I haven't heard from you in a while, my dear. You know what, legendary? That's a very good question. What could make Home Office grant amnesty to asylum seekers? You know what? You're fine. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. You know what, legendary? Now, I was saying this earlier, and where I was talking about politics and the new government that is in power now. In the past, when a new government took over, there was an amnesty that was given to asylum seekers, humanitarian protection, etc. There was an amnesty. All of them got leave to remain. And that was my hope with this new government, that they would give an amnesty to all asylum seekers, because remember, when new government takes over, they take over with bullcrap, as we say in the Caribbean. They take over with bullcrap, meaning that they have a lot to fix and a lot to do, because the previous government would have left lots of things in mess. So our hope, especially in the office, we were praying that when Labour took over government, that they would just do an amnesty for all asylum seekers, all humanitarian seekers. Just do one thing and give everybody refugee status, which is leave to remain. But it hasn't been done as yet. We're still hoping, we're still praying. So that's one of the ways, or one of the reason why they can give an amnesty. It can be that they have a backlog, and rather than the amount of time it's going to take to go through the backlog, they decide to give an amnesty. Or there might be human rights issues, whereby a lot of the decisions are being done unlawfully. And so when the new government comes in place, or whoever, and they're doing the investigations, they have no other reason but to give an amnesty to all asylum seekers. We're still hoping, we're still praying that this new government would give an amnesty to asylum seekers. Fingers crossed, let's hope it's done. But yes, we're still hoping for it. All right. Yes, Miriam. Yes, advocate. Most time, yes, every year home office fees goes up in April. Yes, the new tax year. You're welcome, Legendary. All right, so God's son is asking, can I use self-assessment as a sole trader to sponsor myself in the UK? All right, so are you referring to the self-sponsor visa? Are you referring to self-sponsor visa, my dear? So Johanna said, I have refugee status. I was 17, and when I get to the UK, can I apply for citizenship? It depends on how you enter the UK, my dear. If you enter the UK illegally before you got your refugee status, then it can be difficult. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave shortly. Let's get to 25K tonight. That would be good. Let's get to 25K. All right, so let me just answer not the last question, sorry. Let me just answer this question. So God's son is saying yes, please. Now, right, so you know what, when I start forgetting, it's telling me, Sharisa, it's time to go to bed. Right, so Godson, you were asking about self-sponsor visa. Now, oftentimes people are confused with what self-sponsor visa means. Okay, so you're asking if you can sponsor yourself. With a self-sponsor visa, you must first have a company, set up a business, whether it be selling hair, selling food, it doesn't matter. Set up a business. Okay, your business must be actively operating for at least a year, 2 years. You must have an HR system. You must have an accounts, etc. Within that business, one of the director must be British or have settled status in the UK. All right. So the first thing you do, set up your business. Okay. After you set up your business, then you have to apply for what is called a sponsor license. Follow along with me. You have to apply for a sponsor license. With that sponsor license, you then now can apply, once it's granted to you, you then now can apply for COS if you want to sponsor yourself, if you want to sponsor other people, fine. Yeah, you apply once you get the sponsor license. One director must be British or have settled status, meaning they have ILR or anything like that. Then you get the sponsor license. That's a process by itself. Just bear that in mind. Then you can apply, you get your COS. The company is going to sponsor you. The company is going to sponsor you. Then you apply for your skilled worker visa. So it's a process. It's a process. It's not a quick fix. And it's not an easy task. Applying for the sponsor license in itself is a complex one, because you have to fulfill so many requirements. But once you get that sponsor license, you get the COS, then you apply for a skilled worker visa. If it's granted to you, then you have your work visa. Okay? That's the quickest way I can explain it to you, my dear. All right, hope that helps. So if you can't meet the English requirement, would it affect your spouse visa outside the UK? If you're not exempted from the English requirement, you must meet the English requirement test. You must. Otherwise, your visa may not be approved. All right, unless you're exempted, unless you're over 65, you're a minor, or you're a country that exempts, like my country exempts English, I think Jamaica, most of the Caribbean countries, the English-speaking Caribbean countries are exempted. So unless you're exempted, unless you have some sort of medical condition that is diagnosed, you must pass the English test. All right? Otherwise, it can affect your visa application. Your visa application may not be granted. There's a saying, there's no point being in an English country if you can't speak the language. Okay? So yeah, you must. All right, let's answer a few more questions before I go. Thank you, Natram, for liking the live. Let's get to 25K likes, guys. Let's get to 25K likes before I leave. Thank you to everybody who has stayed on my live. Thank you, and welcome to all of my new followers. My name is Sharisa, but you can call me Shari. That's okay. Or you can call me Risa. Either doesn't bother me. I am okay with it. Yes, Queen. What you laughing for? What you laughing for, Queen? Everybody's just happy to see me back. And I'm happy to see you as well. It feels good when the love is reciprocated. Honestly, it does. Tap share loves it. Yes. Does your firm offer training contract? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Not at the moment, my dear. If you have an overdraft, can you call your spouse over? As long as you meet the requirement of 29K, that's fine. You make your application. Okay. King, thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking the live, Natram. Thank you for power tapping, double tapping, liking the live. Let's get to 25K likes before I leave, guys. 25K likes for the return of Cherie. How does that sound? If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure go on over. Check me out on YouTube. I do post videos there a bit more often than TikTok, but I do post on both platforms. But go on over. Follow my page on YouTube. Show me some love on YouTube as well. And I'm also on Facebook at All Things Legal. You can also follow me on Facebook. Pop One, thank you for following my page. Thank you. So can my baby born outside the UK, doesn't matter where your baby is born, get ILR after she has completed her 5 years? I'm on a skilled worker. So if you're on a skilled worker visa in the UK and you've brought your child over and your child is on a dependent visa, yes, once your child clocks 5 years, they can get ILR. But if you clock 5 years before the child, there are also some ways in which the child can join your application. Okay, but generally once the child clocks 5 years, they can then do their ILR. All right. All right, so user is asking, nice question. There's no such thing as a nice question. This is a really good question. What are backlogs, or I believe you mean what are difficulties that one can face if seeking asylum as an overstayer? Now, in the first place, you're already facing difficulties as an overstayer. And the reason why I say this is because being an overstayer is not an easy task. It's not something comfortable. So you're already facing difficulties as an overstayer. Now, if you choose to regularize your stay in the UK through asylum, one of the things that you must understand and have an appreciation for is that claiming asylum as a way of regularizing your status is not a quick fix. And I love to tell my clients this because I genuinely mean it. I'm not going to lie to you and say, "Oh yes, claim asylum, you get your decision quick." No. I have to be realistic. So it's not a quick fix. It can take time. While you may have yours back within 5 months, you get everything done within 5 months. Some takes time. But you have to understand that regularizing yourself in the UK is going to take patience. You have to be able to fight. You have to be able to be strong. And you have to want it. More overall, you have to be patient because it's going to be a battle. Any immigration issue that you have or you're going through, it's a battle. It's not an easy task. You may be facing financial constraints. Someone else may be affected mentally. Someone else may be affected emotionally. If you're going through any sort of immigration issue, you can be affected in different ways. So one of the things I'll say to you, it's not really a backlog, it's not a difficulty. I would say you have to have patience. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up, because at the end of the day, you know you can't go back to your home country. You know you can't. So if you can't, you're left with no other choice but to stay here and fight to stay here, because it's not a given right. You're not entitled, but you can fight to stay here. Okay, so that's what I'll say to you, user, my dear. All right. 26.9k likes. Thank you, everybody. And to everybody who has gifted me this evening, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Natram, thank you, but why doesn't the Home Office state this clearly? Okay, I'm not sure what the question was. Yes, King, I get 25k now. Oh, Natram is asking, why doesn't the Home Office send decision letters stating whether 5 or 10 year route? All right, so I think, when was it? Was it last week? Or was it? I think it was sometime in last month. I did I can talk because I'm not disclosing clients' information. This is just general. So I got a successful decision on a further submission for a client, and the letter came back. But bear in mind, I had to read through the letter to see that further submission was granted. And I'm reading through the letter from the Home Office, and I'm looking for to see, obviously I know they're going to be on the 10-year route. Yeah, it's a given, but at least I wanted to see it stated in the letter that this person is now granted leave to remain on 10-year route and that it expires on this date. But I'm reading through and there's nothing there to state it's a 10-year route. Now, although I know I need to see the confirmation from the Home Office. And so it wasn't there. So therefore, I had to go on to the e-visa and found the e-visa. Obviously, if you're on a 10-year route, it's a money-making thing. The Home Office will give you for 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So on the e-visa, you'll only see the first 2.5 years. So therefore, that means that you then have to apply for another 2.5, 2.5. Impliedly, you have to understand that, or your solicitor will explain that to you. But nowhere on the e-visa states the full 10 years. And I think it's something that Home Office need to improve on or to change. But also, it's not applicable with all applications. It's not applicable with all applications. So I don't know if it's an administrative error or if it's something internally. But yes, lately they have not been stating whether the person is on a 5-year route or a 10-year route. And it's very misleading, and it does cause a bit of problems. But like, say for example, if you're coming into the country on a dependent visa, they will normally give you the time up until your sponsor's visa expired. So say for example, you're on a skilled worker visa and your child is coming. If your visa expires 2027, your child's visa will expire 2027. And then now you make the next extension for it. Yeah. I also want to believe that there's somewhere on the Home Office website whereby they state the amount of years for a certain visa. So you probably can have a look there, Natram. It might be there as in general public information, but I agree. They should put this information in all successful applications. So at least you know what you're working with. But that's the Home Office for us. King said, I can't give a gift or that's why I'm super tapping. I appreciate you, my dear. Thank you very much. You know, tapping and double tapping and power tapping, it builds the algorithm for the live, and so it goes to more people. It reaches more people, a wider audience. And so more people will come to the live and have a look, and they see, oh, what is she talking about? Is she talking about immigration? Okay, let's have a listen. Let's see if I can learn something or take away something from this live. So that's what the double tapping and the power tapping does. It builds the algorithm for the live. And if you go on the live or the For You page, it pushes out the live stream, and in return it brings more followers to my page as well. So I'm grateful for that. So it's okay. You don't have to be able to give me gifts. I don't think any amount of gifts can compensate me for my time tonight or my time whenever I come live. Because as a lawyer, what is precious and what is important to me and what money can't buy is my time. Time is money and time is important. And so when I take an hour or 2 hours or hour and a half out of my precious time to come live and speak to you, I do it genuinely from my heart. Genuinely. Yeah. And if I'm gifted, I appreciate it. If I'm not gifted, I still come on and I talk. Because the objective is different. Yeah. My objective is different. My objective is to educate, to bring awareness, to simplify the law, and to help and to give back. That's my objective. So it's okay, my dear King. Your tapping is enough for me. I'm happy for that. All right. So as I'm winding down to leave, hi Fashi. How are you, Fashi? It's been a while, my dear Fashi. How are you? So as I'm winding down to leave, please, can I travel to EU without visa as a settler status? You need to double check because you may need a visa for the country that you want to go to. Unless if you're a UK citizen. Unless you have the British passport, it's different. But if you have ILR and you still have your original country's passport, there are some restrictions. So double check it, Brian, okay? So I wonder how long I've been live for. I think I stayed over an hour tonight. As I'm, Queen is laughing. As I'm getting ready to leave, okay? I'm winding down. Hello, do you have a contact info if someone wants to reach out to you? yeah, so they can follow my page. Make sure you're following my page. 31.4k likes. Thank you guys. Oh, thank you for the roses, Natram. Thank you. Thank you so much for the roses. Did I set a goal for roses tonight? Let me see what was my goal. Did I set a goal for roses? I think I did. Can't remember. Anyhow, I can't find it. That's okay. Thank you for the roses. Hi, Mommy Five. Yeah, hello. How do you have a contact info if someone wants to reach out to you? So what you can do is to follow my page. Yeah, click the follow button and inbox me, and I'll give you my contact details because I'm a bit skeptical with TikTok. So, or you can go online and look for Malik Legal Solicitors. Okay. If you want to send me an email, you can send it to allthingslegal27. Thank you for joining my team. Thank you for that gift. You can email me at allthingslegal27@gmail.com. Okay. Or you can go on and look for Malik Legal Solicitors and yeah, check me out there. Check me out there. Or inbox me. All right, inbox me and I'll give you my details. But I work at Malik Legal Solicitors, okay? So make sure to follow my YouTube page, guys. All Things Legal with Sherry. King is power topping, I tell you. But guys, I think I've stayed over an hour and a half today. So I am gonna get ready to go. But it has been an honor and a pleasure to all of you who stayed on my live with me, who interacted in the comment section, who gifted me, who double tap, power tap. I truly appreciate it. Staying away from TikTok for about a week or two and coming back tonight and being loved and appreciated by my beautiful followers. I appreciate it. Yuri said, "Oh, I'm late." Yuri, did you went away? did you went away? Oh, Queen my Sharisa. Oh, my queen advocate. You've always been my number one supporter. And I thank you so much. You bring life to my life. And to everybody else. Oh, I miss you too, Fashi. How are you, Fashi? So if you've been on my live enough, you will know when I'm getting ready to leave, I just chit chat a bit and then I go. It's my way of just winding down because can you imagine all day I'm talking legal, doing legal, coming live again, talking legal, doing legal. So when I'm getting ready to leave, I just chit chat a bit and then go. I wish I just been enjoying the weather. The weather today was okay. It wasn't too bad today. It was okay. And the time is drawing back as well. So it's the sun is up later now, which is really good for my mental and for our mental health as well. It's a bit daunting when it's dark very early. Brain frazzled. Yes. But you know what? When you love what you do, you enjoy doing it. And I enjoy having legal reasoning. I enjoy discussion, legal discussions. I do enjoy it. If I should say your skin is popping. I think it's because you haven't saw me for a while. You love it, my yes, queen. I love it. I love it. As an asylum granted, so if you're granted refugee, can you travel for vacation except their own country? You can travel for vacation anywhere you want to go. But obviously you have to be careful. You can't travel back to your country that you claim asylum from. Yeah. Nat Ram, thank you for liking the live, Nat. Yeah, so my next live, I am gonna try to buckle myself properly, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me and asking me, when are you coming live? When is the next live? And so I think I need to set time for when I'm gonna do my live. So at least Queen will know, Fashi knows, Yuri knows, Brenda knows, Sharisa, All Things Legal would be live at 10 o'clock or at 7 o'clock. Yeah. But then he was persistent. But then the thing is, with my profession, it's like it's not easy when you work until 9 o'clock in the night sometimes. But I have to discipline myself a bit more. I have to try to get a bit more organized. Yes, give us a timetable. I am gonna try to stick to like a pattern and see how it works. Maybe see how it works. Maybe for a week or so, 2 weeks, and see if it can work. But with my type of job, it's like it's hard sometimes, but you have to fit everything in. So I'm gonna try to do that. At least put a notification. I'm coming live in the next hour. King said, get some rest now. Yes, I am definitely going. I do have a few more hot topics, but I'm gonna talk about them later in the week. Like for example, I want to talk about what the Trinidad visa restriction. I did a live on my YouTube, but I need to do one here on TikTok as well. So I've got that to talk about. I've got the fees increase to talk about, and I've got a bit of Caribbean things to talk about with Trump, and he's trying to be the ruler of the entire world. That one would be interesting. Because Trump sent some really, really serious threatening messages to Caribbean countries, talking about human trafficking and all these things with Cuba. So that's a very, very nice, interesting one as well I'm going to talk about. So I do have a lot in store. Well, I would like to hear that. But yes, so all right, guys. So I'm going to go now. So take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Have a good night, everybody. My beautiful followers. Be blessed. Trump said, Trump moving militant. Yes. Night, night. Night, everybody. And you. Yes. Bye for now. Bye, Queen.